So this week we're going to start to look at the trait theories. And the big shift with trait theories is you move away from trying to explain why and how personality develops to more examining personality traits themselves, characteristics, the actual personality, not necessarily the why and the how of the development of it. And we see researchers exploring and trying to really define, what are common traits across all humans, and it's a constantly evolving thing. So early in this process, we see some work here where it's simple. We're saying they're either emotionally stable or emotionally unstable. They're introverted or they're extroverted, and you fall somewhere in, depending on where you are. Maybe you're emotionally stable and an introverted person, so you have these characteristics. Or you're kind of neurotic, you're kind of high stress, but you're very extroverted, so you fall into these categories. And as research has come along and more has been done, they're like, well, this just isn't enough to explain things. So another theory that's very common today is often what's called the Big Five trait theory. It's by McCrae and Costa. And one of the common abbreviations for it is OCEAN. And it involves openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. And the idea is that we have all five of these traits. We're not just one of these things, we're all five of these things. But where we fall on those traits impacts us. So you may be highly imaginative, lowly conscientious, low extroversion, high agreeableness, and high neuroticism. And that complex combination makes your unique personality traits of who you are. So they're looking at it rather than trying to find all of the complex emotional characteristics and complex personality characteristics that are out there and trying to define these things. They're saying, okay, these are some big categories of characteristics that everyone has, and where they fall on these continuums impacts your unique personality. Another common one used today is the MBTI. Now, this actually started with Carl Jung. He kind of he started with kind of some initial ideas of this with his sensing, thinking, feeling, extroversion, introversion, and it became more and more complex and better developed and researched more in depth as we moved on, particularly by the Myers-Briggs family, which is why it's now called the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. And remember, taking this earlier in the course, you can again look at this and get a deeper idea of where you fall. And it's a combination of not just a unique combination of four different traits. Where do you fall on those four different continuums? And that explains your personality, and each of these can be used as well. You'll actually see things like the MBTI used in some businesses to help people who are in staffing and organizational development. Maybe it's an industrial organizational psychologist or in human resources, say, okay, this person will be good for leadership. This person will be good in this role. Not always used that way, but in some larger companies, they will use tools like this to do so. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.